Wait. Wait. Yeah. Sorry. Wait. Yeah. Good job. Wait. Yeah. Ready? Dig. Yes. Good job. Dig. Dig. Yeah. Good boy. Good job. Ready? Dig. Yes, that's a good job. Yes. Soy. Bow. Yes, good boy. Stay. Bow. Yes, good job. Bang. Good boy.
At a lower rate, we match it and give you 25% off that statement.
What's up? Yes, prayers. Yes, good boy. Good job. You ready? Pause up. Yeah, both prayers. Yes, good job. Pause up. Yes, prayers. Yes, good boy. Good boy. So the next trick that we're going to work on is how to do figure 8 weaves with your dog. So Sawyer already knows this one, so he's going to be my demo dog today. I know you are. Are you ready? Okay. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is have 2 small treats, so 1 in each hand. So have the dog start on your left side. You set? Good. So I always over-exaggerate all of the movements for this one because the cue then becomes more and more subtle as the dog understands what you're doing. So the first half is you're going to lure the dog through your leg with 1 treat behind your right leg. Sorry. Through. And then around. Good. And then with the other one, through and around. Good. So we're just going to continue that over and over again. With him until he understands that, you know, to pop my leg out like this means I want him to flow through my leg. Through. Good. Good. Through. Sorry. Through. Yes. Good. Through. Good. Right. Through. Yes. Sit. Good. So the next trick we're going to work on is how to teach your dog how to bow. So this is one of our favorite tricks, mostly because it's great for strengthening those core muscles in their stomach. It's a great stretch for them, and you can add a really fun cue to it. So ours is when I bow to Sawyer, he bows back to me, and it's just a fun little party trick. So start your dog in a stand, and what you're going to do with your little training treats, stand. So I like to put the treat between their front legs. Yes. But you can and have them kind of look for the treat as they're looking for it. Often they automatically drop down into a bow. Now sometimes your dog may have trouble understanding that when you put the treat between their legs in a stand that they're looking to drop their forearms down, and they may just like hunch over and back up. So what you can do is instead of looking for the complete like elbows down bow, is start much smaller with the movements and start rewarding on just the physical movement of like a little bit down. Stand. There. Yes. So it sometimes takes them a little bit longer to understand. what exactly you're looking for with the bow. So start much smaller. Yes! And when you get that sort of movement, eventually you can get further and further, but as soon as you start seeing the type of movement that you want, good. Yes! Stay. Good. So the next trick that we're going to work on is going to be shake. So put your dog in a sit in front of you. And I still have my little bite treats. These are liver flavored and he goes crazy for them. So the first thing that you're going to do is put a treat in your hand. Stop. Yes, thank you. And offer to the dog fairly low. What you want them to do is to shape the behavior. They may chew on your hand, they may try to get the treat that way. What you want to do is mark when they use their paw to get the treat. Yes! Yes! And then eventually they'll start, you want to raise your hand higher so you get the actual offer. Yes. And then eventually you can just offer your flat hand with the word shake. Yes. Other. Shake. Yes. Good boy. Alright, so for the last trick I'm going to teach you, we're going to work on teaching the dog to cover his eyes. So there are two ways of teaching this trick. So the first would be to use some sort of tape or post-it note to place on the nose, and then as it's an irritant, they'll go and swipe the post-it note or tape off their eyes, and you can click and mark that, and then eventually they'll start offering that behavior, and then you can put a name to it. There's a second way of doing it, using the say your prayers-esque, ask them to duck their head under their paws. So we're going to demonstrate both of those for you today. Okay, so the first version I'm going to teach you is how to do this trick with the tape on the nose. So we're going to be using some tape because Sawyer will like to eat post-it notes, so they're kind of a danger to use with him. So what you're going to do is put the tape right on the bridge of their nose, and then just click and mark every time they swipe at their nose. And reward every time they do that. Good. Yes. Give them a break every so often because this is kind of irritating. So we want to make sure that we're not being too adversive with our dogs and that they don't want to train anymore with this type of trick. So now I'm just going to be marking. He's kind of got the idea of what I'm looking for with the tape on the nose. So he's offering it while the tape was off. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. Every time he offers the behavior, we'll go ahead and mark that. Yeah, good job, bud. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Okay. Good job. Yes, thank you. Okay. So, the second way to teach this trick is similar to how we taught say your prayers. So what we're going to do is basically put the treats and the clicker in the same hand, ask for a paw, and then when they duck their head under, click and reward. Yes. Yes. So I'm just putting the treats below his field of vision, so that's where he wants to move his head towards the treats, and then clicking and rewarding every time he does that. Again, if like in between he offers that behavior, we're going to go ahead and click and reward it. And we're just going to reward when he actually swipes towards his nose and not just an actual air swipe with his paw. You can also teach this in the down position if that's something you want the dog to be able to do. Yes. Yes. And as as with all tricks, once he starts to offer the behavior and you're able to capture it pretty well, start putting a name to it and a signal. So that's how you would go about teaching how the dog to cover its nose. Enjoy!